God, look at you. The voice cut through the cafe noise like a knife. Marcus, my ex-husband, standing 3 feet away with his new girlfriend attached to his arm like an expensive accessory. My hand moved instinctively to my stomach. 5 months pregnant, impossible to hide under the oversized sweater anymore. His pale blue eyes hadn't noticed yet, too busy scanning me with that look I remembered too well. "You've really let yourself go," he continued, that wine-soaked laugh dripping from every word. "I almost didn't recognize you." The woman beside him, thin, polished, burgundy dress clinging like a second skin, shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. Just watched with that calculating assessment women give each other. I tried to gather my laptop and papers. "I need to make my deadline, Marcus." But he moved closer, blocking my exit from the booth. That cologne filled my nose, making my stomach turn. The baby kicked hard against my ribs. "We need to talk," he insisted. "About how you just vanished, blocked my number. People at the club laughed behind my back, Elena. Do you know how that made me look?" In the corner of the cafe, I caught movement. A man in a charcoal suit, perfectly tailored, dark hair swept back. He was watching our table with an intensity that made the air feel heavier. "I gave your ring back," I said. "I wrote everything in the letter." "You've gained a lot of weight." Marcus gestured at my body, false concern spreading across his face. "Stress eating isn't the answer. You used to be so careful about your figure." Heat flooded my face. Every person in this cafe could hear this. My ex-husband telling his fat ex-wife she'd let herself go. "I'm not stress eating." His eyebrows lifted. "Then what's your excuse? Because you used to be so careful and now..." He gestured again and his girlfriend laughed. The man in the corner stood, tall, broader through the shoulders than Marcus in a way that suggested real strength. 2 other men in dark suits materialized behind him. I tried to stand, but Marcus didn't move, deliberately blocking the space. The pregnancy made me slower, clumsier, and he knew it. "Please move." Marcus leaned against the table, casual. "Where are you going? Another shift at some dead-end job? I heard you're doing translation work now. That must pay really well, judging by..." The gesture encompassed everything. My cheap clothes, battered laptop, the corner booth. The baby kicked again. I pressed my hand to my stomach. "Please." Marcus's expression shifted, became almost gentle. "I'm just worried about you. This isn't healthy. You're eating for 2 now." His eyes widened. "Oh my God. You're pregnant?" My vision tunneled. I was going to be sick right here. "Wait, are you seriously?" Marcus started. Then a new voice cut through the moment, low, controlled, Italian accent. "The lady asked you to move." The man from the corner stood behind Marcus now. Up close, even more imposing, all sharp angles and controlled intensity. Dark eyes holding a weight that made my breath catch. Marcus turned, surprise mixed with caution. "This is a private conversation. Just talking to my ex-wife." "There are several laws against it, actually." The stranger's voice remained even. "But we don't need to discuss them. You just need to leave." The 2 other men appeared behind him, watching Marcus with expressions that suggested they'd be very happy if he gave them a reason to intervene. Marcus's face flushed red. His girlfriend tugged on his arm, urgent whispers. He forced a laugh. "Fine, whatever." But at the door, he turned back. "Good seeing you, Elena. You should really watch what you're eating, though, for the baby's sake." The door closed. The cafe slowly returned to normal. But the stranger remained beside my table, dark eyes fixed on me. "Are you all right?" My hands were shaking. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. He asked if he could sit, just for a moment, to make sure I was truly okay. Every instinct screamed no, but my legs felt weak, and I wasn't sure I could stand without embarrassing myself. I nodded. He settled into the chair with economical movements. Up close, I could see the faint lines at the corners of his eyes, the shadow of stubble along his jaw. Older than Marcus, maybe late 30s, carrying himself with confidence that came from never having to prove anything. Vincenzo, he said. No last name, just that. Elena. He repeated it slowly. Your ex-husband? Yes, he's an asshole. His slight smile suggested agreement. I noticed. The server appeared and set down a fresh latte in front of me. I hadn't ordered it. Vincenzo waved away my protest. It's coffee, not a marriage proposal. I laughed despite everything, a startled sound that surprised us both. We sat in silence for a moment. Is he the father? Vincenzo asked quietly. Of the baby? No. The father signed away his rights when he found out. He wanted nothing to do with this. Then he's a fool. Simple certainty that made my throat tight. I should let him get back to his meeting, I said. I'd seen his men waiting, but Vincenzo asked where I lived instead. Greenwood, not far from here. Let me drive you home. My car is outside. That's not necessary. I drove myself. One of my men will drive it to your apartment. You shouldn't drive when you're this upset. He was right. My hands still shook. Okay. The word came out small. Grateful. Chapter 2. The Ride. The black SUV was parked directly in front of the café, hazard lights blinking like rules didn't apply to it. One of Vincenzo's men opened the back door. I climbed in, sinking into leather seats that probably cost more than my entire car. Vincenzo slid in beside me, closer than I expected in the confined space. He gave my address to the driver, and we pulled into traffic. The rain drummed against the roof. I watched Seattle slide past through tinted windows, everything looking softer through the darkened glass. Does he bother you often? Vincenzo's voice cut through my thoughts. No, I haven't seen him since the divorce. Didn't even know he came to that cafe. But now he knows where you work, where you spend your time. Ice flooded my chest. Marcus had seen me there, would remember, might come back. I'll find a different cafe. It's fine. It's not fine. His voice was quiet but firm. Men like Marcus don't stop with one encounter. They push until they get a reaction, until they feel they've won. The certainty in his voice made me turn to look at him. What do you know about men like my ex-husband? I know men, their patterns, their weaknesses. I've spent enough time studying them to recognize the type. Studying them, like they were prey. What do you do? I asked. For work? Import and export, managing shipping contracts through the port. His tone was carefully neutral. Something in the way he said it made me think there was more beneath the surface. He turned the question back. Translation work? Freelance. Medical documents mostly. Technical manuals, whatever pays. It's difficult work, but I can do it from home. Flexible hours. I'll need that when the baby comes. When are you due? 4 months, June. He nodded, processing this. Did Marcus help financially after the divorce? My laugh was bitter. Marcus had lawyers who made sure I left with exactly what I came in with, which was almost nothing. The house was in his parents' name. The car was leased through his company. Even our bank accounts were structured so I couldn't touch anything. And the baby's father? Signed away all rights the moment I told him. Had his attorney draw up papers that same day. Vincenzo's jaw tightened. I need you to understand something. What happened today? That was testing. Marcus wanted to see if you had anyone protecting you, if you were vulnerable. Fear tightened in my chest. Why would he test that? Because men like Marcus don't let go easily. They see their ex-wives as property they still have rights to, especially when those women have moved on and found peace without them. I haven't found peace. I found survival. Vincenzo's eyes met mine. That's more than he wanted you to find. Silence stretched between us. The rain, the wipers, the soft engine purr. Where are we going? I asked suddenly, realizing we'd passed my street. Somewhere safe, just for tonight. His voice left no room for argument. Marcus knows where you live now. He saw your car, probably noted the license plate. Do you really want to be alone in that apartment tonight? My heart hammered. I can't just... I don't have anything with me. No clothes, no... We'll send someone for whatever you need. Right now, you need to not be where he expects you to be. The way he said it, so calm, so certain, made me realize this wasn't a suggestion. Vincenzo had already decided I wasn't going home alone tonight. I should have been angry, should have demanded he turn around. Instead, I felt relief. Okay, I whispered. The baby kicked, gentle this time, like agreement. We drove for another 15 minutes, leaving my neighborhood behind. The buildings got nicer, the streets wider. Madison Park, where the real money lived. The SUV turned into a gated driveway. Vincenzo entered a code, and massive iron gates swung open. A mansion materialized through the rain, stone and glass and money. So much money. This is your house? My voice came out small. Yes. One word. No apology. No explanation. The SUV stopped under a covered portico. Vincenzo's door opened immediately. Another man in a dark suit, umbrella ready. Vincenzo came around to my side, offering his hand. I took it. Let him pull me up, his other hand steadying my lower back. We walked through massive double doors into a foyer that was bigger than my entire apartment. Marble floors, a chandelier that probably cost more than I'd make in 5 years, art on the walls that looked original. I'll show you to a room, Vincenzo said. You can rest. We'll talk more after you've had time to process everything. Vincenzo, I can't. This is too much. I don't even know you. He turned to face me fully, those dark eyes holding mine with an intensity that made my breath catch. You know I stepped in when you needed help. You know I won't let Marcus hurt you. That's enough for now. The rest we'll figure out together. Why? The question that had been building finally escaped. Why do you care this much about someone you don't know? His expression shifted, softened fractionally. Someone should have been there for my sister when she needed help. No one was. I won't make that mistake twice. He gestured for me to follow. We climbed a curved staircase, down a hallway lined with closed doors. Vincenzo opened one. This is yours, for as long as you need it. I stepped inside and froze. It wasn't just a guest room, it was a suite. Bedroom, sitting area, what looked like an ensuite bathroom. But that wasn't what made me freeze. In the corner sat a white crib, a changing table, a rocking chair with soft cushions, shelves with baby books, unopened packages of diapers, tiny clothes still with tags. A nursery, complete, perfect, ready. What? When did you? I couldn't form words. Vincenzo stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets. I had it prepared this afternoon, after I saw you in the café, after I saw you were pregnant and alone and scared. This afternoon? You did all this in 3 hours? I have people. When I tell them something needs to be done, it gets done. I walked to the crib, ran my hand along the smooth white wood. It was real, solid, not a dream. You don't even know me, I repeated, voice breaking. You don't know if I'm a good person, if I deserve this, if... I know enough. He was behind me now, close but not touching. I know you're scared. I know you're alone. I know that baby deserves better than what you've been able to give her so far. And I know I can help. Tears slid down my face. Why? Because no one should have to do this alone. Because I have the resources to help and you need help. Because when I saw him humiliating you in that cafe, I wanted to put him through the fucking window. The raw honesty in his voice made me turn. He was closer than I thought, and suddenly we were inches apart. I scare you, he said, not a question. Yes. Good. You should be scared of me, everyone should be. But you should also know that I would never hurt you. Never. That baby you're carrying, she's under my protection now. And so are you. I don't understand what you want from me. Right now, I want you to rest, eat something, let yourself feel safe for one night. Tomorrow, we'll figure out the rest. He stepped back, giving me space. There's clothes in the closet that should fit. Sophia, my sister, she guessed your size. Bathroom's through there. I'll have food sent up. If you need anything, press the button by the bed. Someone will come immediately. He was leaving, actually giving me space. Vincenzo? He paused at the door. Thankful. Thank you for all of this. I don't know how I'll ever repay you, but you don't owe me anything, Elena. Just let me help you. That's all I want. He closed the door softly behind him. I stood in the middle of the room, this beautiful, expensive room with a nursery already prepared for my baby, and let myself cry. Not from fear or shame or exhaustion. From relief. For the first time in months, I wasn't alone. The baby kicked and I pressed my hand to my stomach. We're safe, I whispered to her. I don't know how or why, but we're safe. 3 weeks passed. I stayed in Vincenzo's mansion. Not because he forced me, but because every time I mentioned leaving, he'd ask one simple question. Do you feel safer there than here? The answer was always no. The card stayed in my wallet anyway, pressed between expired coupons. A reminder of that first day. But I didn't need it anymore. Vincenzo was everywhere. Morning coffee appeared before I woke. Lunch materialized when I worked. He checked on me between meetings, his presence both comforting and overwhelming. Then the envelope arrived. One of Vincenzo's staff brought it to me in the library where I'd been translating. Thick cream paper, expensive weight, my name in serif font. My hands trembled opening it. Marcus was contesting the divorce, claiming I'd hidden a pregnancy, that the child was his. Fraud, perjury, custody rights. DNA test at a facility of his choosing. The words blurred together, court dates, financial records, threats. I read it 3 times, each pass revealing new horrors. The baby kicked hard. I pressed my hand to my stomach, trying to breathe. Then, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. Hello? Ms. Martinez? A man's voice, crisp, professional. This is Robert Chen, attorney representing Marcus Ashford. I'm calling to discuss the complaint we filed this morning. I got your letter. Good. Then you understand the seriousness of the situation. My client is prepared to be reasonable, but he requires immediate paternity testing and... The library door opened. Vincenzo walked in, took one look at my face, and crossed the room in 3 strides. Who is this? He asked quietly. My ex-husband's lawyer. Vincenzo held out his hand. Give me the phone. Vincenzo, you don't have to. Give me the phone, Elena. Something in his voice made me obey. I handed it over. Vincenzo put it to his ear. This is Vincenzo Rossi. You're speaking to me now. I could hear the lawyer's voice change, even from feet away, uncertainty creeping in. Mr. Rossi, this is a private matter between my client and Miss Martinez. I don't see how... Let me explain how this works. Vincenzo's voice was calm, dangerously calm. Ms. Martinez is under my protection. That means any legal action against her goes through my attorneys. You have 10 minutes to withdraw your frivolous complaint before I have my legal team destroy your career. You can't just... This is a legitimate custody claim. There is no custody claim. The child isn't your client's. We have documentation proving this. What you have is harassment, and if you continue, I will personally ensure that every judge in Seattle knows what kind of man Marcus Ashford is. Silence on the other end. I've done my research on you, Mr. Chen. Columbia Law, class of 2015. 3 years at Morrison and Forster before going solo. You have a good reputation. Don't destroy it for a client who's lying to you. How do you... I know everything about everyone who threatens what's mine. Now withdraw the complaint or find out what happens when you don't. More silence. I'll speak to my client. You have until end of business today. After that, my offer expires. Vincenzo ended the call, handed my phone back. I was shaking. You can't just threaten lawyers like that. I didn't threaten him. I gave him information and a choice. He pulled me up from the chair, hands gentle despite the steel in his voice moments ago. Are you okay? I don't know. I can't afford lawyers. I can't fight Marcus. He has money and connections and I have more of both. Elena, look at me. I did. Those dark eyes held absolute certainty. Marcus doesn't get to do this. He doesn't get to terrify you. He doesn't get to claim a child that isn't his. I won't allow it. You can't just decide that. I already did. The moment I brought you here. The moment I saw you were in danger. His hands moved to cup my face. You're mine to protect now. Do you understand? Mine. The possessiveness in his voice should have scared me. Instead, it made me feel safe. Why? I whispered. Because you needed someone and I was there. Because that baby deserves better. Because when I look at you, I see someone worth protecting. His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, showed me the screen. A message from someone named Sophia. Complaint withdrawn. Chen fired his client. It's done. That fast? I breathed. That's what happens when you threaten someone who knows they're wrong. He put the phone away. Marcus thought you'd be too scared to fight back. He didn't know you had me. I started crying. Couldn't help it. Relief and fear and gratitude all tangled together. Vincenzo pulled me against his chest, one hand in my hair, the other around my waist. You're safe. I promise you're safe. The baby kicked between us. Vincenzo's hand moved to my stomach, and she kicked again, harder, like she recognized him. She knows you, I said against his chest. Good. She should know who's going to protect her. We stood like that for a long time, until I stopped shaking, until I could breathe again, until I realized I'd stopped thinking of this as temporary. Chapter 4. The New World. Vincenzo's office was downtown. Glass tower, marble lobby, the kind of space where my second-hand shoes echoed too loudly. He'd insisted I come meet Sophia, his sister, the attorney. The elevator took us to the 15th floor. When the doors opened, a woman stood waiting. Dark hair, charcoal suit, intimidating in the way powerful women always are. Sophia Rinaldi, she extended her hand. Vincenzo's sister and your attorney. So this was the sister who'd struggled alone. I could see the similarities. Same dark eyes, same intensity. Sophia led us to her office, windows overlooking Elliott Bay. She gestured to a chair. Walk me through everything, from the beginning. So I told her. The marriage, the divorce, the pregnancy, the biological father signing away rights. Sophia took notes, never judging. When I finished, she set down her pen. Marcus has no case. None. The pregnancy occurred after the divorce. You have documentation. He has no legal standing. This is intimidation, she continued. Pure and simple. He's counting on you being too scared to fight back. So what do we do? We already did it. The complaint's withdrawn. But we're also filing a restraining order, no contact. If he violates it, he goes to jail. Will that work? It'll work because my brother will make sure it works. She pulled out a contract. Now, about your employment. We spent an hour reviewing shipping contracts, legitimate business documents in Spanish, French, German. The pay was triple my freelance rate. These are all legal? I had to ask. Sophia's expression didn't change. What you'll be translating is completely above board. I can't speak to everything else, but your work will be legitimate. Honest enough? I signed. As we left, Sophia paused. Vincenzo doesn't do this. Get personally involved. You must have made quite an impression. Vincenzo caught us at the elevator. Did Sophia take care of everything? Yes, thank you. Stop thanking me. His hand stopped the elevator doors. The card with my personal number. I meant it, any time. The doors closed. I rode down wondering what I'd gotten myself into. Chapter 5. Finding Rhythm. 3 months passed. I fell into a rhythm. 3 times a week at Vincenzo's office, translating contracts. The rest from his house, which had stopped feeling like his and started feeling like ours. 8 months pregnant now. Every movement calculated. Vincenzo noticed everything. When I skipped meals, when I worked too long, when I was tired. Today he appeared with lunch, Cuban food. Set it on my desk. You're working too hard. Normal amount. You give me these contracts. Because you're good at it, but you need to eat. He watched me eat. Not creepy, protective, making sure I took care of myself. Eventually he asked about names. I pressed my hand where the baby kicked. A few, nothing definite. Sophia didn't name Gabriel until 3 days after he was born. He was opening up, sharing pieces of his life. What's his name? Gabriel, 16, basketball, engineering, smart kid. He collected the empty containers. Sophia wants to meet you, properly, not as your attorney. She's been asking. Nervous flutter. Why? Because I talk about you, enough that she's noticed. My pulse quickened. This afternoon, if you're still here, we'll have coffee. 3 hours later, Vincenzo's office, massive windows. Sophia in jeans, less formal than before. How are you finding it, working with my brother? It's good. Everyone's welcoming. That's not what I asked. I glanced at Vincenzo. He watched with amusement. It's been helpful. More than helpful. Sophia pulled out her phone. Your ex backed off completely. No contact, nothing. Relief. That's good. It is. But I'm here because Vincenzo's been talking about you for 3 months. I want to understand why. Sophia. Warning in Vincenzo's voice. I'm asking if your intentions are honest, because he doesn't do this. Heat flooded my face. I care about Vincenzo. I'm not using him. Sophia's gaze moved between us. Thoughtful. My point is there's something genuine here that neither of you has acknowledged. Heavy silence. I started to stand. I should get back to work. Wait. Sophia held up a hand. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. I don't have intentions. I work here, that's all. Is it? Sophia's gaze was steady. I wrapped my arms around myself. I care about him, but I'm not using him. I work hard. That's not an answer. Vincenzo cut in. That's enough. Elena doesn't owe you explanations. Anything beyond work is between her and me. Sophia studied him, then nodded. Fair, but the family's noticed. They'll want to meet her. Let them ask. They will. After Sophia left, silence. I apologize for my sister. She's protective, I understand. He came around the desk, closer. What Sophia said, it's all true. I do care about you, more than I probably should. My heart raced. I'm not asking for anything. You've been through enough. But I wanted you to know, you're not just an employee. Then what am I? I don't know yet, but I'd like to find out, if you're interested. The baby kicked hard. I gasped. Can I? He gestured at my stomach. No one had asked before. I nodded. His hand was warm, gentle. The baby kicked immediately, pressing against his palm. That's incredible. Weird. Alien. But I was smiling. Very active alien. He didn't pull his hand away. Have you thought about after? After the baby comes? I try not to. It's overwhelming. You'll need help. I'll figure it out. You don't have to figure it out alone. Whatever you need, I want to help. Why? He told me about Sophia again. That's part of it. But it's also you. The way you keep showing up, keep moving forward. You're stronger than you think. No one had called me compelling before. I should get back to those contracts. Take them home. Work tomorrow. At the door, I paused. What Sophia asked about intentions. I do care about you. More than I should, too. His expression softened. That makes this less complicated. Or more. Maybe. But I've never been afraid of complicated. Chapter 6. The Breaking. The contraction hit while I was translating Portuguese. 8.5 months pregnant, 2 weeks before my due date. My body had decided it was done waiting. I breathed through it, counting. When it passed, I checked the time. 10 a.m. Vincenzo was in a meeting about South America routes. 20 minutes later, another, stronger. I had to stand, pace, hand pressed to my back. This was real. I called Vincenzo. Third contraction made the decision. He answered first ring. What's wrong? I think I'm in labor. I'm sorry, I know you're in a meeting, but the contractions are close and— Stay where you are. I'm coming. The line went dead. I managed to gather my laptop before the next contraction. This one strong enough I had to lean against the desk. Vincenzo appeared in less than 5 minutes, still in his suit jacket, face composed but eyes sharp. He took in my position, moved immediately to my side. How far apart? Maybe 15 minutes? We're going to Seattle Grace, I called ahead. I'm fine, really. Ugh. Another contraction cut me off. His arm came around my waist. You're not fine. You're in labor. Stop pretending. The elevator felt eternal. His hands on my back, murmuring Italian I didn't understand. His driver was waiting, black SUV running. Vincenzo helped me in, slid beside me. We pulled into traffic. Another contraction, stronger. I made a sound I didn't recognize. Breathe. His hand found mine, letting me squeeze. Almost there. 5 minutes. This is too early. I'm not ready. I don't have everything. None of that matters. Right now, breathe. Get to the hospital. Everything else we'll handle. Seattle Grace materialized. Vincenzo had the door open before we stopped. A nurse with a wheelchair waited. She asked my name, when contractions started. I tried to answer, but Vincenzo did it for me. The hospital moved in a blur. Someone put a gown in my hands. Someone hooked monitors to my stomach. A doctor appeared explaining premature labor at 36 weeks wasn't dangerous. Through it all, Vincenzo stayed, answered questions, held my hand, spoke to staff with calm authority. When the doctor asked if he was the father, Vincenzo didn't correct them. I'm staying. You don't have to. This wasn't part of our agreement. Stop talking about agreements. I'm staying because I want to, because you shouldn't do this alone. Labor progressed faster than expected. 4 hours of pain, breathing techniques failing, nurses checking dilation. Suddenly, it was time to push. One more, the doctor said. Almost there. I pushed, felt something shift, release. A cry filled the room. It's a girl! The doctor held up a small, red-faced creature that was somehow mine. 6 pounds, 2 ounces, small but healthy, good lung capacity. They placed her on my chest. Tiny, dark hair, eyes not focused yet. Hey, I whispered. You decided to come early, huh? The baby made a sound. Complaint about existence. I touched her hand, watched her fingers curl around my thumb. When I looked up, Vincenzo stood a few feet away, staring at the baby with an expression I'd never seen. Raw, unguarded. Do you want to hold her? He moved closer slowly. The nurse showed him how to support the head. When the baby transferred to his arms, his whole demeanor changed. More careful, more present. She's so small. Actually good size for premature. He walked to the window, looking down at her with focus usually reserved for business. I watched them together. This man, this baby. Felt something shift. The nurse took her back eventually. NICU for observation. The room emptied. just us. He pulled a chair close, sat heavily. You were incredible. I screamed a lot. You gave birth. You're allowed. Exhaustion lined his face. Have you thought about names? Isabella came to me during labor, means devoted to God. Isabella. He tested it. Suits her. Silence. Exhaustion pulling. Then Vincenzo spoke, serious. I need to tell you something. Listen without interrupting. Anxiety tightened. I hadn't planned this. When I helped you 3 months ago, I thought it would be one time, a favor, then we'd both move on. But that's not what happened. Watching you work, talking to you, seeing how you handled everything, I fell in love with you. Not because you were vulnerable, but because you're strong and honest and made me want things I'd convinced myself I didn't need. My throat felt tight. What things? A family, a home, someone to share things with. I want to be there for Isabella, not as a favor, but as someone who cares about her because I care about you. I want to be the baby's father, if you'll let me. Want to be part of your life in every way you're willing. Tears slid down my face. I'm a mess. Newborn baby, no career, ex-husband who might cause problems. I don't care. I care about you, about the woman who keeps showing up, who works hard, who protected her baby. That's who I fell in love with. I admitted what I've been trying not to acknowledge. I love you too. I've been trying not to, but I do. Vincenzo kissed me, gentle, careful, everything. When he pulled back, his hand cupped my face. Then let me do this. Let me be there for you and Isabella, not as your boss, as someone who wants to be part of your family. What if you change your mind? I won't. I've been responsible for people my entire life, but I've never wanted any of it the way I want this. Want you. A nurse knocked, checking monitors. After she left, Vincenzo stayed on the bed edge, holding my hand. I need time to process, not because I don't believe you, but because this is huge and I just gave birth. Take all the time you need. I'll wait. What if I take months? Then I'll wait months. What if Isabella keeps you up crying? Then I'll be tired and still here. His certainty was absolute. I'm not leaving. Whatever this is, I want to see where it leads. Relief washed over his face. Thank you for trusting me. The baby was brought back 2 hours later, cleared for rooming in. Vincenzo was still there, never left. I watched him hold Isabella while I tried breastfeeding, saw him call the nurse when I struggled. When I woke in the evening, Vincenzo stood by the window with Isabella, speaking Italian. I couldn't understand words, but the tone was clear. Promises, protection, family. Isabella made a content sound. He glanced up, saw me watching, smiled. She likes Italian. What were you saying? That she's safe, loved. No one will hurt her if I have anything to say about it. Basic promises, the kind fathers make. My chest tightened at fathers. You're already acting like her father. Because I already think of her as my daughter, if you'll let me. I looked at this man, at my daughter, at the life we'd created from circumstance and necessity. Okay, yes, be her father. Be part of this family we're building. His smile transformed his face. He leaned down, kissed my forehead, then Isabella's. Thank you for trusting me with both of you. Outside, Seattle continued, but in this room, with his hand covering mine, I felt like we'd started something that mattered more than anything. Epilogue, 3 months later. I woke to singing, Italian words, soft melody, from the nursery corner of our apartment in Queen Anne. Our apartment, not mine, ours. Vincenzo had insisted when my Greenwood lease expired. Safer, closer to his house in Madison Park. I padded barefoot across hardwood, stopped in the doorway. Vincenzo changing Isabella's diaper at 3 a.m., singing a lullaby while she kicked and gurgled protest. "You're supposed to be sleeping." "So are you." He knew I was there without turning. "I have meetings in 4 hours." "Isabella doesn't care about your meetings." He finished the diaper, scooped her up. "She just cares about being fed and changed and held." Very reasonable priorities. I watched them in the nightlight glow. This man in pajama pants and wrinkled shirt, cradling my daughter like he'd done it forever. "What were you singing?" "Old Italian lullaby my mother used to sing. Sophia taught it to me when Gabriel was born. Only thing that worked when he wouldn't sleep." Vincenzo had moved things in gradually. Drawer of clothes became 2. Toothbrush in bathroom. Business files on my table. We hadn't discussed what we were doing, hadn't put labels on it, but it felt permanent. "Come back to bed. She'll be asleep in a minute." "Already is." He carried Isabella to the crib, laid her down with practiced care. She stirred but didn't wake. Back in bed, Vincenzo pulled me against his side. We'd shared a bed for 6 weeks, been careful about physical intimacy, both aware I was still recovering. But this, sleeping, intertwined, felt more intimate than anything. "Sophia wants dinner this weekend. Her, Gabriel, and my other sisters. They want to meet Isabella properly." Anxiety tightens. "All of them?" "Maria and Julia have been patient. Maria especially. 3 kids. Isabella needs to meet her cousins." He felt my tension, rubbed circles on my shoulder. "They'll love you." "What if they don't? What if they think I'm taking advantage, or that I trapped you?" Vincenzo shifted to face me. "First, Isabella is mine in every way that matters. Second, my family knows I don't get trapped. If they think anything, it's that I'm lucky you gave me a chance." "That's not how this works. You saved me." "We saved each other. You gave me a reason to want something beyond business, to build a real life." I kissed him, slow, deep. His hand slid under my shirt, warm against skin. I pressed closer until he pulled back slightly. "Are you sure? The doctor said 6 weeks. It's been exactly that." "It's been long enough, I'm sure." What followed was careful, tender. Vincenzo treating me like something precious. When it was over, we stayed tangled, breathing synchronized. I felt the last walls around my heart crumble. "I love you," I whispered. "I love you too. Both of you. This family we're building." Isabella woke an hour later, hungry, insistent. Vincenzo brought her to me in bed, settled beside us while I fed her. His hand rested on Isabella's back. In moments like this, I could almost forget the complications, could pretend we were just a normal family. But normal families didn't have ex-husbands who'd tried to claim babies, didn't have men with shipping empires and connections to worlds I still didn't fully understand. Yet somehow, we'd found our way to this, to 3 a.m. feedings and Italian lullabies and love that grew from broken pieces. Outside, Seattle rain started again. That relentless rhythm, soundtrack to our entire story. but inside, warm and safe and together. I finally understood what people meant when they said rain could be romantic. It just depended on who was standing beside you while you weathered the storm. And Vincenzo, dangerous, powerful, impossibly gentle when it mattered, had proven himself to be exactly the kind of shelter I'd needed all along. The end.